자기번호 1번 영어 면접 시작하도록 하겠습니다. Let me read the question number 1 and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number 1. There are several things when you do an online English class. First one is you have to think about the interaction because in English class interaction is the most important thing. But in online class there cannot be so much interaction. At online class there is much less interaction than face-to-face situation. So you have to think carefully about the students' interaction. For this interaction, you can do snowball game, for example, with online. Through this snowball game, they can listen to what other students say, and they can actually talk well. So this is the first thing that you have to think about it. And second thing is you have to think about how to do English, how to teach English fun. Because in face-to-face situation, you can do role play or you can do survey and you can do game. But in online class, these things are hard to do. So you have to think about how to teach English funny. So these are two things that you have to consider about when you do an online English class. Thank you for listening. Now let me think about the question number 2 and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number 2. I'm going to tell you my ideal teacher. My ideal teacher is waiting teacher and learning from the mistakes because the world we live in is so fast to catch up. For example, if you find an answer about some question, that answer can be changed or that answer can be one of many. So you have to teach students to learn from the process and their mistakes. I heard that in our life there are no accidents. We only have happy mistakes. So to teach students in these days, you have to think about this word, this sentence, and you always have to 촉진하다가 영어로 뭐죠?
Facilitate.
You always have to facilitate your students to learn from their mistakes. 이상입니다. 이렇게 중간에 생각 안 나면 진짜 큰일 날 것 같아요.
에이, 괜찮아. 당신 임기응변 잘하잖아. 갭. 격차도 갭.
Let me tell you about the question number 1. The gaps are bigger than ever before because of the coronavirus. There are several ways to narrow this gap. The first solution is through phone English. Through phone English, the teacher gives a call to some students who are not that good at English and hope that student with English. Through this method, he or she could learn how to talk in English and listen in English. The second solution that I thought about is you can do online mentoring through Zoom or Neighbor Form or Google Form. Through this way, you can do a one-to-one mentoring to students, and this method, I think this method would be the best solution to narrow the gap. Uh, this this solution may be hard for the teacher, but students will have quantum leap if you give a proper teaching. That is my answer for the question number one. Thank you for listening. 이상입니다. Now let me think about the question number two and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number two. I'm going to talk about several solutions. The first one is I'm going to make a English zone in my school. At English zone, students must talk in English. Through this way, they can learn they can learn lots of English. Like baby learns a language, they could expose to a lot of languages. For example, in English zone, they must speak in English, so they will try to say in English and they will try to write in English. Through this way, they may have learned about alphabet. So this was first solution for the who has not learned about who doesn't know the English. So this was the first solution. And second solution is I'm going to read a lot of storybook because I often see my neighbor's baby, but she learns letters from a book. I read a lot of book to her, but uh, I I read a lot of book to her, so I think this method would be useful to who does not know the alphabet. These are two solution. These are two solutions. Thank you for listening. 이상입니다. 네. 어렵네요.
Let me read the question and answer it. Let me answer it. For the difference of the learning level of English, I will use two ways. First is consulting with students and parents. English level is connected with the the other ability of communication skills. So I will consult and communicate with their parents about their English level. If the student has only problem of English, I will give them the customized task or customized handout. And second solution is the mentoring. Uh, for example, I can be the tutor of him or her after the former English class. Uh, in my experience, my English teacher of middle school, she will help to the students have difficulty in English, and it's the best way to develop their English skills. So I will give them some mentoring about English ability and the task. Thank you for listening. Let me read question number 2 and answer it. Let me answer it. For the students can not understand alphabet, I will use first way is the song and chant. Song and chant is really fun way to study English and the alphabet. Uh, if they don't know the alphabet, they can sing a song, sing along the 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 song. So using the song and chant, they can expose the alphabet very easily and fun way. Second way is role play. Role play is there is a lot of various ways. So if they cannot understand alphabet, they can motion about some sentence or the word. This kind of way they can communicate with on other level students. So that kind of interaction will motivate the difficulty students, and the role play can motivate their the studying English what they want to do study English. Thank you for listening. Let me read the question number 1 and answer it. Let me answer it. After this interview, I will look back about this interview because it it is the exam which I prepared 1 year. So I will check up the interview again because it is the best way to develop myself. For example, with this exam, I can develop the interaction skill and discussion skills about the curriculum and some the English activities. So after this interview, I look back this interview and using this self check, want to develop my English skills. Thank you for listening. Let me read question number 2 and answer it. Let me answer it. In English class, uh, the most important activity is group work because there is three benefits of the group work. First, cooperation. They can help each other and they can lead the low level of students, and they can teach the other students, and both students develop their English skills. Second is attitude about the English. English is the language. That means that English is the subject of communication. So group work is the best way about learning how to communicate. third is group work has some best group work is the best way for playing game. The playing game is the most happiest way which the students like a favorite way to learn English. So the group work is important for these three reasons. Thank you for listening.
네, 좋습니다. Let me think about the question number 1 and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number 1. After this interview, I'm going to do several things. The first one is I'm going to go to the hospital because I have not go to the hospital because I was afraid of infection. I have been to the skin hospital, so I would go to the skin hospital and get some lasers. So this is the first thing to do. And second thing is I'm going to do some exercise because of the long study years, I have been so fat lately. So I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do exercise at my home or somewhere else. So this is the two thing I'm going to do. And third thing is I promised to my sister to go a mall with her because I was at home nearly about 3 weeks because of this test. So I'm so tired of being at home. So I promised to my sister to go out with the go out when this test is over, and it's today. So I'm going to go to the mall and spend some money. So these three things are what I'm going to do after this interview. Thank you for listening. Now let me think about the question number 2 and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number 2. I'm going to tell you what group activities as advantage in English class. The first advantage is group activity can facilitate students' interaction. They can learn how to hear what other friends say, and they can learn about how he or she have to talk about her or his opinion. So through group activity, they can do some interaction. This is the first advantage of group activity. And I'm going to tell you the next advantage of group activity. The next advantage is through group activity, the students can grow their cooperating ability. Not like pair work or solo work. In group activity, the students must work with other group. So they will learn about the value of cooperation and why it is so important in these days. So these are two advantages of using group work in English class. Thank you for listening. 이상입니다.
이제 입 좀 풀렸다, 그지?
네, 쌤도 풀리신 것 같은데요.
이거
네, 그렇다면 다음 번호인가요, 바로?
네.
네, 제가 바로 가나요? Let me think about the question number 1 and answer it. about the question number 1. I'm going to do several solutions to who constantly doesn't listen to what I say. The first thing to do is I'm going to do a consulting with him or with he or she, because there might be a reason that he or she does not listen to me. Through consulting, I'm going to find out that reason. So if I find out what's the reason, I might figure out that problem. So this is the first solution. And second solution is I'm going to do a recovery solution. Recovery solution is some kinds of method teaching. Through recovery solution, I'm going to tell her or him, you are hurting me, and I want to recover this solution between teacher and students. And through this solution, he or she might understand what's the consequences of he or she does not listen to me. So he or she might be recover from what what what's tormenting him or her, and finally listen to my word, I hope. So these are two solutions. Thank you for listening. Now let me think about the question number 2 and answer it. Let me tell you about the question number 2. I'm going to do several things. The first one is I'm going to consult with him or her, because he or she might not be good at English, so he or she does not want to talk in online class. So if this is the reason, I'm going to do a one-to-one mentor. Through this mentor, he or she could learn how to talk in English and how to listen in English. So in this way, he or she might be more he or she might want to come into the class more aggressively, I hope. And second solution is I'm going to make a lot of compliment for he or she. Through compliment, he or she might gain confidence, and he or she might come into the class more positively. So these are two solutions. Thank you for listening. 이상입니다.
Let me read the question number 1 and answer it. Let me answer it. If there is a student constantly doesn't listen my way about the English class, I will have some solution about that problem. Number 1, consult with the students, because we should, the teacher should know about their reason to the lack of English, the focusing of English class. So it can be he or her problem, or the family problem, or other problem. So I will look deeply and he or her problem, and listen their problem. And second, if there is the way to help her or him, I will give some advice, or the help some help for them. for him or her. If he or she want some consulting or some tutoring or some task, I can give their the solution of of customized their English skills. Thank you for listening. Let me read the question number 2 and answer. Let me answer it. If some students very quiet in online class, I will figure out the reason of uh, the students the attitude. If the students has difficulty about the English class, I will give them some customized task or helping. Or if the character is a little bit just quiet and they don't want to speak louder or speak a lot, they can show their opinion by writing or the other way. So if the character is different the other students, I will use the other way for the students. Thank you for listening.